People, Deluded, I'm back again. Now, obviously the dust has settled. I've had time to sleep. I've had time to think about it and do the usual things football fans do. What if Jimenez didn't score? What if this happened? What if that happened? Fact is, we drew. Same result. A year from, obviously we've played them, well, Emery's faced Wolves twice in his campaign as Arsenal manager. 2 different seasons, 2 different years essentially, and it's been the same result. Different circumstances, but the same themes, like away from this game, like many games last season and during our first opening 10-11 games, however many we've played this season, the issues are still there. Cast your mind back to the Wolves game last season. It was different to... if you look at the 2 games, it was a different incident. But what I'm about to speak about, you tell me if your thoughts are not provoked and you think, oh, I've seen that in this game this season, or I saw it there. Because we all think differently, we all see different things. Last season, if you remember, it took us, obviously, Wolves took the lead. We struggled to break them down. We took 86 minutes for Mkhitaryan to score. We struggled to create. How many times has that been said? And I know you lot are thinking either yesterday or any other examples this season. We struggled to break them down. Leno faced a lot of shots. He was more or less our best player on the field, give or take, with some other man. They're the same themes. We barely had any shots last season. This season's the same. 25 shots against Wolves. 30 odd against Watford. The themes are still there. When we was, I believe at a point last season, when we got to the Wolves game, we were 16 games unbeaten. And it goes to what I'm saying. When you look at that 16 game unbeaten, yes, we probably had, at that point, yeah, we probably had some fantastic games. But things were papering over cracks. And when we was winning, when we was going 22 games unbeaten, you was called a pessimist, you was called a hater, you was called this and that for suggesting that everything might not be rosy. And much as like life, football is the same. When everything is going great, we're winning games we shouldn't have. We're getting the rub off the green. When it's going poorly, like you're seeing with the last, to put it nicely, last couple of Premier League fixtures, it goes wrong. This is why you need to remove the wool from your eyes. And I do think many fans, I was a victim of it to a degree as well. When Emery came in, it's a breath of fresh air. It's a move away from the other regime. Obviously, he's a 3-time Europa League winner. He fits in with the current model of head coach, is not manager. New ideas, you know, makes players that have been underperforming buck up their ideas and the rest of it. And when you look past that euphoria, people, it hasn't been there. Tactically, there's not been... I'd say there's probably been about 5 games since Emery's been our manager, and they're probably the bigger games where we've been solid tactically. We haven't been solid tactically. We are no better as a side than when he came in. And took the job tactically. Offensively, we're not playing to our potential. Defensively, there's no structure. For me, for someone that bangs on about video analysis, last season, how many times was midfield runners an issue? Twice in a week, midfield runners have cost this team. I'm not blaming the individuals, but just to highlight the point, Joe Willock, if you remember Joe Willock for Oxlade-Chamberlain to cross what led up to Mustafi's own goal against Liverpool, midfield runners on top of Kolasinac being out of position. Go and watch the game and go and watch the goal we conceded last night, last evening. People, it's poor defending. Like midweek against Liverpool. People are unaware of their striker or the men they're meant to be picking up. Go and look at Origi's 2 goals and go and look at Jimenez. They both get in between centre halves. Centre halves are not picking them out. Ceballos, in the build up to that, a midfield runner from Wolves, it runs off Ceballos. You've seen that theme. Why have we not addressed midfield runners? Why have we not addressed defending convincingly? Why are we still unable to see out games? All of this lands with Emery. Now, I still think there's something to play for this season. At the end of the day, yeah, we're in poor form, and we can keep saying, the longer the season goes on and the longer we keep saying, if we do this, we do that, we're not going to get there. But at the end of the day, we need to look at things balanced. I believe Emery is looking like a terrible appointment for this club. I don't believe he's the man right now. But at the same time, yeah, we are 5th. I know Leicester, I believe, are going to play today. I watched a bit of match today. I don't really know everyone else's results, people, bar the obvious teams. But I'm sure Leicester, are playing today. So they could extend that to either 7 or so points, and it could potentially be 10 if Leicester beat us. What is that, people? Already blown out of the water, already in the top 4 race. What is that? That shows me the team's not learnt from their mistakes. That tells me they're not galvanised. That tells me Emery's probably ineffective with getting his coaching and with his coaching across. When he was appointed, obviously, I was excited. I want him to do well. There still is something to play for this season. We're 5th. But is Emery the man to galvanise the fans, to re-galvanise the players, to get us playing? I don't know. Because I am a big believer of sometimes, yeah, obviously we're not the manager, but sometimes obviously as a manager you can't listen to everyone, because let's be honest, fans have had some terrible shouts. I remember when fans were saying sign Owen Coyle and D sort of Mandela as our manager. They've had poor shouts. You can't listen to fans, myself included. I've had some dead shouts. I'm not perfect. But at the same time, you can't listen to fans, but at the same time, I do believe when you're so immersed in something, potentially you can't see it. Like when you're so warped in being Arsenal manager and I need to improve tactically, offensively, XHAKA staff, there's pressure on my job anyways. There's so many things I'm trying to allegedly do that I can't necessarily see a different approach to get at people. So I do think we're at that case. Emery can't see beyond his own thinking or his own, and he needs to search in behind. And I will also say this. What's never spoken about in football and what is really underrated is the counsel you keep around you. And I'm speaking about the manager, the assistants. Because the manager is the manager. He deserves all his praise. But the reality is the manager can have all the great ideas in the world. If his assistants or coaches are not able to speak to him or not brave enough to speak to him or not really his eyes and ears when he cannot be there around the training ground or whatever, he's doomed to fail. And I have to wonder, when you look at Pep gets all the praise. You look at the backroom staff. Liverpool, I don't even know them man there's names. I think they brought a couple of new men in. But when I read Liverpool articles and stuff and you're hearing, yo, this guy does the tactics, this guy does the set pieces, the players love this coach away from Klopp and stuff. Do you see what I'm saying? I have to wonder what the people around Emery are saying to him specifically, because it's me. If I look at myself, if I'm a coach, people, I've got my guys here that I believe, like, first and foremost, they should be able to tell me if I'm wrong. What are they saying to him? Because we're doing the same tactics. It's the same old tried and tested measures that fail. What are they saying to him? Are they not saying, yo, Emery, this ain't working, you know, or Emery, you got to do something else? Are they too scared to say this? I have to ask questions. I've had question marks over Emery. You lot have known it. Look at all of them vids. My thing was, I do believe you can have question marks over any manager or praise any manager. I'll just comment on what I'm seeing. But I still want, and I wanted Emery to do well. I had these question marks. From 2 months in, I was saying, okay, cool, I don't expect us to be the finished article, but what are we looking like? 4 months, what are we looking like? 6 months, what are we looking like? And many people, you know, our stats can be manipulated, people. You lot are smart. Many people, especially certain other YouTubers as well, they were quick to bring up all these positive Emery stats, how he's changed it. You was called a hater, you was called this, you was called that. Go and look at it, people. Big up Harry off the Same Old Arsenal podcast, people. He got battered for his Emery comments. So did I in them YouTube comments. And I don't want to say we're right, but we saw it. If you go and look at one of the first videos I made when Emery came, I said, I believe the comment is still commented, Emery excites me and scares me tactically. Excites me because it was a fresh of a new. Scares me because I could see exactly this. How many grounds did he go to as a PSG manager and failed? Really. Poor communication, a lack of principles in terms of tactics. He just doesn't seem, it's not even about being charismatic. He just doesn't look like someone to believe in. And I want him to do well, but I've had these question marks for a while. But that Wolves game is where Emery personally lost me. I'm not going to sit here week in, week out and say Emery out. I'm not going to say this and that. I'm going to still support the team and the boys, but Emery has lost me and he's treading on thin ice. I see the maths. I see £6 million to get rid of him now or at the end of the year. I see 45 million if we do not get Champions League. On top of the finances, on top of bringing in players, on top of potentially retaining Aubameyang and Lacazette. I know Ceballos isn't really in form to warrant him, but what if he has an uptake in form and we don't get Champions League? How are we able to retain and attract players and build on? Top 4 is vital, and Emery is steadily going on a slippery slope. Like last year, we are our own worst enemies if we do not get top 4. We knew what we had to do going into the game. You know, Spurs are playing Everton where both sides need to win. There's pressure over both managers similar to us. United lost to Bournemouth. Just away from all of that, the cup game against Liverpool, Sheffield United and obviously Palace, these were not good results. Pardon me, it's time to go out there. Emery, how can you... When Emery came in, we was told how we look better defensively, how there's all the plans and stuff. How can you come into this club and we get worse defensively? We cannot keep a clean sheet at home. We cannot keep it away. We can see cheap goals. We have a lack of game management. I do believe a lot of the players are experienced enough to work these things out ourselves, but the penny drops with the manager. They're doing what he's telling them to do, and the only thing I can see evidently that's come into this club is emphasis on playing out from the back, and even that can be described as stale and lifeless, and that's a reflection on the manager. The team right now is a reflection of the manager. In the same way, when it was 22 games unbeaten, that was a right reflection of the players and the manager. The manager's never in it alone, but this is a reflection. He's lost me, people. I'm not gonna lie, Emery has lost me. Again, it's in my best interest as an Arsenal fan for Emery to win. I want to get Champions League. I want to win potentially the FA Cup this season. I want to advance in the Europa League, like any other fan or whatever team you support. But Emery's lost me. I don't believe in Emery, people. I have to say it now. Like I've really tried to suppress it. Obviously, I run the little banter on Twitter and whatnot. But I'm not gonna say Emery out. But it's because I don't want to bang on about it. But if he left tomorrow, if he left today, I wouldn't say I'd be happy, but I wouldn't be sad because we're not seeing it. You're seeing a lot of talk and a lot of articles come out and linking Jose Mourinho to us, more so after yesterday. Duncan Castles is doing that. For me, you lot know me, I like Jose. I don't want Jose at this club. I like Jose. He's helped me helped shape football. That don't make no sense. Jose Mourinho, along with Ferguson and Wenger and a lot of people I've looked at, have helped shape my vision on football, people. And big up Darren, my Sunday League coach as well, because for me he's as big as them. I love Jose, cerebral approach, but I don't think Jose will be the right fit for this club. Yes, the credentials are there. He's a proven winner. If you win watching football, the name Jose Mourinho, you think winner. He's done it all. But I believe we need someone. Obviously, we want big names and stuff, but I believe we need a coach first. Obviously, they're all coaches, but I think we need to see. Apologies for that, people. The memory card was full. But like I was saying, yeah, got a lot of time for Jose, but I don't feel Jose is the man for this role. I think one thing he'll bring is the coach. There'll be a better structure defensively. Even that went down the toilet a bit at United. I think there'll be a bit of a structure defensively, but I still think the same things. If Jose comes, we will say this. We will say the same things, people. We will say there's lifeless playing out from the back, underperforming offensive players. Jose, what people don't speak about as well, if Arsenal's meant to be this financial prudent club because of where we are, Jose is a costly appointment beyond the fact of it's a massive risk if it doesn't work, and because of how Jose and Arsenal have been, it just doesn't look like a good look to appoint him and whatnot. Jose is going to come on a good salary, a very good salary, like you've seen. Is he going to sign for anything less than a 3-year deal, people? If he was to get the role to the end of the season and we see how it goes, that's another debate. But you know Jose, he's getting that 3-year deal. He's getting a good financial package. And what is not spoken about beyond that, his backroom stuff. Now, I don't have the stats to hand, but go and look at the clubs he's gone to. Bringing in his backroom stuff is very costly. So we're going to have to take on his wages, the backroom stuff, and it might not go well. Is this Jose Mourinho of 2004? No, it's not. I will take him in a heartbeat. Yes, he's still won at United. But are we prepared to gamble like that? Of course, because Jose is a proven winner and the name Jose and winner are synonymous, people. It should be in the dictionary. It doesn't make sense what I'm about to say. There'll be more confidence in that. But for me, we need to go and find, it doesn't have to be a big name. And I don't know any examples really to give to you, but we need to go find someone who is a coach first. Someone that has a clear way of coaching, someone that can come and bring a blueprint, so that the minute he comes in, a month or two in his tenure, we can say, obviously we're not there yet, but we see what he's doing. 6 months from then, we see what he's doing. A year, we see what he's doing. He's getting the best out of these young. He's developing the young players. He's finding a system that allows us to get the best out of 2 top quality strikers that have been missing in this club in a couple of years, in Aubameyang and Lacazette. He's finding balance with Pepe and stuff. You see what I'm saying? We need that, people. I'm on that. I don't care if it's. I don't even care if you go and find someone in the other side of the world, in an uninhibited part of this earth, people. As long as that, I want someone with that, because I'm tired of watching my club and not seeing anything to buy into beyond the fact of I want players and managers to do what I want to win games. We need someone like that. We need one. Obviously, a plus of Jose is that I don't think he's doing all this XHAKA. Do you want to be captain? Do you not want to be captain? He's regulating. He's setting levels, and we need that a bit of authority. But by the same logic, football is not ruled by an iron fist anymore. I think we've got a tight-knit group of players. They're very close with themselves, and that's one thing we need to be very careful on, because if Jose alienates them or certain things happen again, it is what it is. And again, like when Wenger left and Emery came, I'm not criticising Jose. I'm not saying that would be a bad appointment, but don't let your first for your thirst and hunger for a new regime, for something to look forward to, detach you from reality. Don't just look at Jose as a proven winner. It would be an expensive mistake. In the same way people looked at Emery, just people wanted, and they're right in doing it. They wanted Wenger out so badly, they were prepared to accept any of the nonsense and the crap, that the tosh that was coming out to defend Emery was laughable. Yeah, there was legit points. It's not his squad, but you're hearing these players still think under Wenger. They still do this, they still do that. Even until the start of this season, there's every excuse. Man are screaming Holding and Tierney and Bellerin. When these man come back, it's gonna be different. No, it's bloody, pardon my language, no, it's fucking well not, people. I'm tired of fans saying dumb shit. I'm tired of it. I'm not calling anybody stupid, but what defensive system did Emery employ to say it's as white and black as these man come in and boom, boom, boom? It's not. We're a shambles defensively. Off the ball, on the ball, midfield, strikers, defence, because strikers have to defend from the front. I'm not criticising them. This is a fact. We're one of the worst coach sides, and that's Emery. You can't say this is not his squad. The players he didn't bring in, he's been allowed to marginalise certain players and say, I don't want to use them. He's been allowed to run the rule over players he wants to continue with. He's been allowed to bring players on. His tactics at times were praised. But like you lot began to wake up and see, if you're consistently changing your lineup, do you know your best side? To which, being here a year, you don't. And that's pretty concerning. And also, is there something wrong with your tactics? When you get, yeah, there's some games, second half substitutions, Emery did well, it happens. But if you're consistently doing that, and this happened this year as well, are you setting us up in the best way, people? If Emery truly doesn't know his best position, his best formation and positions for players, because he evaded them sort of questions lately, it's concerning. And that shows me someone that's trying to do everything but nothing. If you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. And that's sadly what some Arsenal fans have felt victim of with Emery. There's nothing. There's no clear way of playing. You're changing formations week in, week out. Players, I'm looking at players at the Emirates with my own eyes. Players don't know where they should be or what they should do. Are you giving them too much information? I don't know. The only thing I can see is lifeless, people, and it's not going to end well for Emery. It's a costly. Man, people, I'm stressed out, man. Let's just look at the statistics for this thing as well, man. I found some concerning things, man. If you look at our shots in league games, Newcastle had 9, we had 8. Burnley had 18, we had 16. Liverpool away, Liverpool, fair enough, I lie that one because Liverpool are different class. They had 25 to our 9. Arsenal against Spurs, they had 13, we had 26, fair play. We had 7 against Watford to their 31, and remember we got a 2-goal lead. Against Villa, 14 to our 21 at home. Yeah, we won 3-2. On the face of it, it looks good. Cast your mind back to that game, people. We made it 10 times harder than it had to be. Credit to us for getting a penalty with Pepe. Villa showed why some of their players are championship level in that game. No disrespect with their lack of concentration. Against United, we had 16 to 10, and it was a timid effort from United. We didn't really have a go at United. I felt it wasn't a terrible performance, but it shows you. Bournemouth, we had 10 shots. They had 10, we had 12. And Bournemouth weren't really at it in that game. And I remember Arsenal, AFTV. Go and look at my interview with Robbie. Robbie's trying to tell me that, hold on, this, that with Emery. No, the same themes, whether we're winning, losing or drawing, are here under this man. It's lifeless, and I've had enough now, people. I want Emery to do well. I'm not going to, you don't know me, I don't do this agenda thing. But it's the writing's on the wall now, people. Unless a miracle can happen and we can turn it around, the writing's on the wall. Against Sheffield United, 8 to 9 shots. They had 8 shots, we had 9. Against Palace had 10, we had 15. Against Wolves, we had 10, they had 25. This is appalling, people. This is cowardly. This is shameful. There's no intent in anything we do. People call Emery a pragmatic manager, and a lot of that is true because what can be described as negative substitutions with bringing on Kolasinac. But I say this, and I agree with that. Can we really say he's a pragmatic manager? What's he shown me to say you're pragmatic? What's he shown me to say you're offensive? What's he shown me to say you're defensive? There's too many Blues Clues, and Scooby-Doo mysteries over this team, and he's been here for 15 months now. You're hearing the hierarchy are having question marks. You're hearing the players are not having faith. You're hearing that even XHAKA, his captain, who he didn't allegedly want to make captain, that he's been riding for, is snaking him basically. So he's got no allies in this team now. He has to die on his sword. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Emery, as well. More life than that. This is probably the shittest birthday you've had in a while, people. Forgive my language, man. I'm tired of holding this crap in now. I'm really tired of it, man. It's really it's enough now, people. Even at the Wolves game, 25 shots from Wolves, 8 on target, 13 in the first half from Wolves, 3 on target, 12 in the second half, 5 on target. Throughout the whole game, 10 shots from us, 4 on target. It's the first time, well, it's not the first time, but Arsenal have dropped points in consecutive home games, having scored the first goal for the first time since 2004, which was 2-2 against Southampton and a 1-1 draw against West Brom. And I also have to say this, people, a good tradesman doesn't always blame his tools. Everybody, for the last 15 months here, it's been the tools Emery's has. He's the one plumber that's not expected to use his tools. He's always got to have a good thing, people. It's always, the defence, they're this, they're that. Coaching's a big part. I've been saying it from day dot. Coaching's a big part of this role. With the exception of Mustafi, who can't scapegoat or anything, just simply isn't good enough. I wanted to see a structure defensively so that I could say, okay, cool, we're making these same mistakes, or I don't want to, but we're conceding goals. But I'm seeing fullbacks tuck in. I'm seeing centre-halves mark their men properly. If we still concede these goals, we go back to the drawing board, but we're still switched off. Are these players listening to you in training? Do they believe in you? Do they actually understand what the hell you're saying? I don't know, because I'm not there, people. It's upsetting, man. It's going too far now, man. What other things are there to say? We had 3 shots after 31 minutes, people. 2 were by defenders. Obviously, Aubameyang got the goal. And if you remember, that goal, our goal came out of poor defending from Wolves, really. Shout out to Luis for grinding. It's a poor clearance from the Wolves lad. Good assist from Lacazette, and Aubameyang a good instinctive finish. But away from that, 31 minutes in, and only one striker has had an effort at goal. I don't know how true that is as well, because I remember Torreira, Lacazette blasting over in the first half as well. I know Batman had an effort, so I don't know how true them statistics are or the context of them, but it tells you everything, really and truly, people. It's sad. We failed to have a single shot on target in the second half, with our last shot coming coming in the 32nd minute, people, which this shows you. If we can't defend, we're conceding record shots on goal. There's no real, we don't know what our midfield is. We're scoring goals, but we're not playing to our optimum in an offensive sense. This is all on the manager, people. A team is a reflection of the manager. It is what it is, and it's going to get worse if it continues like this. Emery also said he thinks they understood what he wanted to do, people. Even after the first 10 minutes against Wolves, they had 5 shots to our 0, people. It's ridiculous, and it just shows the errors this guy keeps making. We've won, since beating Newcastle 2-0 on April the 1st, 2019, Arsenal have won just 6 of their last 18 Premier League games, and that's on the manager. Our poor form last season's continued, and I've been, I don't want to sound like a moaner, but pre-season I was saying we're still, while it's only pre-season, these same stupid errors are there. If we're not fixing up in that, you start as you mean to go, and if we're not showing any improvement in that or any sort of emphasis on that, is it really a surprise we're now here in November now, saying the same stuff? It's going to get worse unless we buck up our ideas, because I know you've all seen that December, January period, people. We've got Chelsea twice over them quick 2 months. Like, we've got United. I'm sure we've got City. I'm not sure of anybody else. And you can bet the fixture pile up and things like that are going to play a factor in it. It's appalling, people, man. It's appalling. 2 wins in our last 9 Premier League games, and away from that, they're just the manner in which we've been playing. If this was under Wenger, or if this is under any other manager at any other club, people, Arsenal fans ourselves would be highlighting it. Football fans ourselves would be highlighting, speaking about it. I'm not saying people are not speaking about Emery and potentially losing his job, but come on now. Come on, because Emery's been here. For me, coaching was a big part of this role. If we were still in this form, I would still probably say some of the same things, but if we were still where we are right now, but it's a thing where I'm seeing players improve, I'm seeing the system, then I'd back Emery a bit more, because I could say I see a blueprint. Then I can have that conversation with, what if we sign this and do that? But I can't. Coaching's a big part of this role. Whether he had, like I said last season, whether it's his squad or not, whether he's got no money, coaching is a big part of this role. And Emery has shown that he can't coach us to the standard. I'm sure Emery's a nice guy. Emery's a good fellow. Emery's an intelligent manager. But has he got the minerals to take this club forward? No, he's lacking the sauce in that department. He's got no seasoning, people. It's not happening. It's really not happening, people. We're dropping points from losing positions as well. Like, come on now. Come on, if you're meant to be this pragmatic manager, how are you not seeing out games? There's obviously been times, more so last season, where I feel Emery couldn't factor in stupid individual errors, but these things are on him now, people. It's enough now, man. It's enough. Even in his post-game comments, they're jarring, people. It's just jarring. It's a bad result, but tactically it worked how we wanted. We couldn't impose our game plan in 90 minutes. We didn't concede a lot of chances, but the match for me was equal for two teams. And if you don't score the second, you are in the possibility that they can score. Emery, we know this. Tactically, it never worked, people. Tactically, it didn't work. What are you talking about? Yeah, if you worked on it on the training ground and you're seeing it, cool, fair enough. But it never worked. Let's cut the crap. It didn't work. It didn't work. This is sounding like under-18s football. You know you need to go out there and get the second. What the hell is said at half-time? Like against Palace. What the hell is said at half-time? What is said about seeing out leads? What is said about going and getting seconds? Game management. How we start games. Game management. Ultimately, how we see out games, the most important thing is what's failing us, and that's Emery. So you can talk about all this crap as much as you want. He's also said, after the first goal, we wanted to manage the result, but we couldn't do that. We created some chances, they created some chances, but they scored. That is the difference. Okay, cool. That's on you. Like, everybody saw that, yeah. The team that takes their chances the most gets something out of the game. We know this. He spoke about the boos. I don't want to get onto that, man. He said the players understand his instructions. I sometimes just call a spade, man. And he said, for me, what kind of annoyed me is the key at the moment is not the goals we concede. It's the difference between our goals and the opposition's goals. What the fuck? Pardon my language. What the fuck are you talking about, Emery? What the hell are you on about there? What, brother? What difference? The difference is we dropped 2 points, similar to Palace. The difference is we didn't start well. We didn't start necessarily well in the first 5 minutes of this game, and we turned it around. But like against Palace, where we started well, the factor is how we closed that game. We didn't start well against Sheffield. Poor. The cup game is the cup game, but you look at the Europa League fixture against Victoria and you look at Liverpool. Liverpool, give it to the young players, they did their thing. But again, the same themes are there, people. Emery, what are you talking about? Like, the common denominator is Emery, and it doesn't matter if he's had Ozil in, not played Ozil, played Ceballos, not played Ceballos, played Torreira, not played Torreira, kept Guendouzi in the side, put whoever he wants in defence. Obviously, Leno stays in goal. The one variable, or the one constant that doesn't change is Emery. Now, Emery either has to reinvent himself, go back to the drawing board extremely and get us going this season, or he's not going to last past Leicester. Leicester, on current form, and if games are won on paper, which they're not, they're going to wipe the floor with us, people. And I'm sure Leicester fans that are old enough to remember, they never probably thought they would have got in a position where Arsenal will go to Leicester, Arsenal play Leicester, and Arsenal are the scared ones. This is a place Bergkamp used to go and show them levels and put on a spectacle. Like, credit to Leicester. I'm not dissing Leicester. I love what Brendan Rodgers and them man are doing. I'm just saying, they're third. They're licking their lips because many people think they're going to drop points and not going to get fourth. They're licking their lips because of the form they've been playing in. I believe they're playing again today, or did they play yesterday? I don't know, like I said. But they can potentially take a rival for the fourth spot out of the equation. Could be 10 points or so. Now, 10 points can be clawed, but 10 points clear of Arsenal. United losing to Bournemouth. Spurs, you don't know what the Everton's game's going to say. They're laughing. Leicester are laughing, people. And we only have ourselves to blame. The players need to look deep inside their hearts, because as much as I'm criticising Emery, and I believe it's him, the players are players. You're grown men. Come on now. Fix up. But I've had enough now, people, man. I've had enough. You've also heard, apparently, courtesy of Duncan Castle, apparently Arsenal have begun preparing the ground for a change of management after fractures have appeared between Emery and members of the playing squad. So we'll see how that one develops, people. Also, shout out to Aubameyang for obviously 50 goals for Arsenal. Quality player. Somebody broke them down on Twitter and it reads, direct free kicks won, which I remember in the Europa League. He hasn't scored any headed goals, alarmingly. He scored 5 penalties. He scored 10 with his left. He scored 40 with his right. Inside the area, he scored 44. Outside the box, he has scored 6. So he's very much in the box man. He's a strike. That's what Aubameyang's about. Goals. He's someone that lives inside the area, and you take your eyes off him, like against Wolves, he's gonna make you pay for it. And for someone that's been here a season and a half, well, what is it? What, season and a half or 2 seasons max now? Aubameyang, I don't even know. Getting 50 goals. I wouldn't say it's his peak, but his peak, and in terms of age, he's not going to get any younger. Would he want to commit to a future under this manager where we don't know where we're going, missing out on Europa League, away from, missing out on Champions League, playing in Europa, or more importantly, I know money's not a thing, he could be playing at a more reputable club if the offer came in and earning more money. Does he really want to waste his time here, regardless of how comfortable him and other players are? It's going to be expensive. Like we all know, it's £6 million to get rid of Unai Emery, and it's 45 million that we stand to miss out on if we don't get Champions League. You lot know me. I want Emery to do well. I don't want a scapegoat. I have no agendas to push, but the writing is on the wall, and it looks like the only way this club is going to get top four or achieve that Champions League spot and hear the Champions League anthem bellowing out at the Emirates is if Emery calls it a day. But it is what it is, man. On that note, I've got nothing more to say, man. I've been here longer than I need to be. People, deluded. God bless. I'm out.